What hurt more there, the scoreline or the manner of the defeat?
Both. You can lose a game, I said just in the dressing room, but not in a way where we lost second half. First half, I think we played very decent. I think it was not weird when we were up in half time, because we created the better chances, and then just we make one organization mistakes, and the second half is unprofessional. Can't happen, and we have to talk about it.
Did one or two of your leaders in there let you down a little bit? Did they give up a little bit too easily?
It was not about one or two players, it was the whole team. I saw 11 individuals losing their heads, not stick to the plan, and just let it come. And that is unprofessional. And that is not Manchester United. We have other standards, and that one of the standards we want to show.
Is it fair to say that's your lowest day as Manchester United manager?
Every defeat, no matter what, is worse, and especially when you lose at Liverpool, and we let the fans down, and so that's what me the most annoy.
Not that you ever make excuses, but that's, I think, 20 games since Christmas. It's a lot of football. Is fatigue kicking in a little bit?
No. Nothing to do with that, because we can bring the performances 4 days ago, 7 days ago, so nothing to do with that. It's just about the head. And we know Liverpool is a good transition team, and when you are 1-0 down, you can't lose your head, and just you bring them in transition moments, and we are not bringing the right decisions, not the good defense actions in the transition. So, and that is unprofessional, and we have higher standards than that we show today in the second half.
Can I ask you, what did you say to the players at the end of the game? Are you the type of manager who shouts, or is now not the time for that kind of response?
Of course, I did my talk, and we have to talk further on tomorrow, but also then we have to strike under, and then we have to reset, and we bounce back many times before. Brentford, we did City. I'm sure our players are resilient and they can do that, and we will bounce back.
Thanks for coming out, Eric. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Midfield today.
Just a mix. The mix of what we need, the experience and the football part. That's what I think. We played a really good game against Wolves. We had set a new record on this season, at least in counter-pressing situations. Harvey was very much involved in that. So, and on top of that, he's a good connector. These kind of things, Hendo, with his experience and all these kind of things. That's why it doesn't. I mean, has nothing about Stefan. He was outstanding. We had other options as well. So that's good. Didn't happen that often this season, but we have them now, and that's why we decided for that up front. Yes, Diogo was obviously really good, but we should not force it and have Cody there as well in the backhand, and Robbo comes back. That's all.
From your experience of these games, what's key to coming out on top?
Play good is helpful. Be aggressive, but not overly. Be read in the situation, be compact, be wild in moments, be brave. So these kind of things. So you have to make it's a derby, but we all know that sometimes the emotions to get the best out of us a little bit, or the other way around. So we have to make sure that, yes, it's a very important game for us for a variety of reasons, but we have to make sure that we are calm as well. That's what we'll try in the end, but it's all about how good we defend and how good we attack, so easy.
A result where you go, wow, that was incredible. And that was astonishing, wasn't it? Manchester United's record ever Premier League defeat and their equal worst ever defeat. Erik ten Hag he's very straight down the line to the point, isn't he? Not making any excuses, saying they were unprofessional.
Yeah.
Now, you two are the professionals, and occasionally you would have been on the end of a hiding, maybe.
Absolutely.
Were they unprofessional, Manchester United?
They were, and it happens, Mark. I've been there twice. I've been done 7 at Blackburn and 7 at Man United, and it's a whirlwind when it's gone against you. You haven't got time to think. The goals are going in. There was 3 goals inside 7 minutes. You can't react. It was more the dropping of the heads. It was the lack of tracking back. It was the lack of effort. That was a maul-in second half. That was 7 going on, I don't know, 8 or 9. The chances Konate had a header. But he'll be bitterly disappointed because he's put so much right since the Brighton game, since the Brentford game. You thought they've turned a corner, and they have. The performances in general have been really good. No one saw a 7 coming before the game. No one.
How do you go from winning a cup last weekend to being, everyone says, in the title race, and you won in the FA Cup in the week, to that, and everyone going, well, maybe Manchester United are on the up and Liverpool have peaked and on the way back down? How do you go from that situation to getting thumped 7-0?
A little bit of complacency, thinking that the job's already been done. You know, they've been on a fantastic run of form the last couple of months, and they thought, well, we just need to turn up, do the things that we've been doing in the lead up to this game, and, you know, the rest will take care of itself. However, Anfield is a really difficult place to go, and you're talking about one of, if not the biggest rivalry in world football. You know, Manchester United against Liverpool, or Liverpool against Manchester United. They thought the job was going to be done easily. Liverpool turned them over, and it was
he must have prepared
bizarre to watch.
Erik ten Hag must have prepared his team for Anfield, the hostile atmosphere that is Liverpool Man United.
Most of them have played
the biggest game in world football. So I wouldn't put anything at Ten Hag's door on that one. That was all I think on his players.
That was individuals, absolutely.
But we're just going to play the goals because there's, you know, there are so many of them. We're just going to let them roll and we'll talk over them. For 40 minutes, they were in the game. It was 0-0.
Embarrassing, to be honest. I think out there on the pitch, felt embarrassed for us players, you know, for the fans that, you know, were there supporting us, that were watching at home to watch that second half. You know, can only apologise for that, and, you know, us as players, we have to own it. We have to stand up and accept that, you know, it was nowhere near good enough. It was completely unacceptable, and, you know, I'm sure they're hurting, but us as players, we're hurting a lot, and, you know, I think our standards have clearly dropped since we've won that trophy, and, you know, in the last couple of games we haven't been our normal selves, and, you know, we need to find what the good things that we were doing before and bring them back, because, you know, this hurts a lot, and it's really unacceptable what we did in that second half with mistakes, and, you know, we showed no personality, no mentality, and, you know, for a big team to come here, we need to be better.
And yet, from my perspective at least, the first half is some of the best stuff we've played here for a long time. So it's hard to explain what happened after that.
Yeah, that's why I think it's hard to find the words to explain that second half. I think first half, they always start fast, we know that. We dealt with that, and, you know, we had our chances. We didn't really take them, and I think it showed in the first half. You switch off for one moment, then you get punished, and I think in the second half we switched off for the whole half, and not just moments. And, you know, like I said, it was embarrassing and disgraceful, and, you know, this is not acceptable what that second half was.
What would be your message to the United fans, obviously, who came here, and this is a horrible place to lose, but obviously to lose like that for them?
Yeah, no, and I think it hurts even more with the confidence that we've had recently. Coming into this game, we know how much it means to them, you know, and how much it means to us. We spoke a lot about that before the game, and, you know, like I said, I can only apologise on behalf of myself and the team with the way we performed in that second half, the mistakes we done. The performance, yeah, I can say it was a disgrace, because I was on that pitch and I felt it, and I felt embarrassed for the fans that were there in the stands to be witnessing that. And, you know, we need a big debrief tomorrow on what went wrong, and, you know, I can only say on, you know, behalf of the team that, you know, we know it's unacceptable, and, you know, we know starting now that, you know, we need to make amends, and starting with the game on Thursday, and hopefully they'll be there to support us, and, you know, we'll give everything in that game. And, you know, like I said, we can only say sorry for that second half performance.
Finally, how do you think we recover from this to make sure it doesn't derail, you know, the season that was going very well?
Yeah, I know, but also on that last message I was saying, also thank you as well for continuing to support us at the end. I think, obviously, I know it's not easy for them, but, you know, a lot of them stayed and, you know, clapped us, and, of course, that means a lot for us as a team to see that after such a bad result. But I think on the question then you asked then, I think, yeah, we need to realise that. We need to, that's why we're having a big debrief tomorrow about the game, what went wrong. And I think we need to keep the belief, keep the character, and bring back that personality and mentality that we know we have, but you know, we lost today, and I think we can't let this one result derail our whole season, because I think we're in a really good place. I think this can, you know, it's another hurdle that we need to go over, and you know, us as teams we'll climb over that, and I think, you know, we'll bounce back positively on Thursday night. I'm sure of that.
Thanks for honesty. Cheers.
As good as Liverpool's until the first one went in.
Yeah, they were, but you know, the problem is complacency in terms of the defensive elements. The midfield went missing on multiple occasions. There were so many times Fernandes didn't track back, so if he had followed his runner, the ball wouldn't have been able to find its way through to him. The reaction of most of the players, and I'm talking about all four of the defenders and all of the midfield
experienced players, Jermaine, that's the key.
Players that have played the game at the highest level for years and years and years, just let themselves and the club down massively by not doing the simple things well.
This is amazing from Liverpool's point of view, though. Mo Salah's skill on Lisandro Martinez. I mean, twists him up for fun.
Send him to the
it's the lack of runners. It's the lack of awareness from Luke Shaw. It's De Gea going ballistic, and rightly so, but don't go past your near post. He made the job, Gakpo, a little bit easier. It's still a brilliant finish, but why go past your near post? If you're going to come out your near post, be strong, stand up. The goals, I mean, this one, there's a little bit of context. That's a little bit lucky in terms of the Nunez through ball to Salah, but the finish is emphatic. And then from here, you think, and this number could be anything. They've gone. There was players like Bruno Fernandes, who wasn't disciplined. He's a player that has to play as a number 10. You can't be carrying a passenger off the left-hand side. He doesn't do the defensive work.
It's your captain, though. That shouldn't even be a part of the conversation. Should be leading by example.
But Bruno Fernandes is a good player in his own right. But I stand by, and I've said it for a long time, he doesn't play the position very well. He's not disciplined. When it's going his way, and he has lots of touches on the ball, he looks a brilliant player.
I mean, the ball broke a couple of times to Liverpool. Both Salah goals, the ball broke kindly for them. But Liverpool were in the mood, weren't they, Jermaine? And Liverpool, because, all right, I was at Anfield where they got thumped by Real Madrid, and maybe the Champions League is too much for them. But in terms of their league form, they are definitely picking up, even though they had a 0-0 at
This
Palace.
is the best story.
Defending well.
This is the story of the night for me.
Firmino, the announcement he's going to go and getting a goal.
Yeah,
but they are definitely picking up, Liverpool, clearly.
Yeah, they are, and this is a perfect game for them to really kickstart their season and chase down Manchester United, Manchester City for an opportunity to play in the Champions League. Gakpo was fantastic today, took his goals really well. Nunez took his goals really well, and Salah, he was unbelievable. He was unplayable. You couldn't get anywhere near him. Bouncing players off him, burning them for pace. His trickery on the ball, his awareness to find the passes, the runners. Scintillating football from him today.
It's hard to try and get into the mindset in terms of fatigue on the Liverpool players, because no one saw this drop off from Jordan Henderson and Fabinho at the start of the season. You know, played 60-odd games last season, could have won all 4, didn't. Won a domestic double. But the drop off was quite alarming. And you can never quite, unless you're in it, you can never understand how many years, 4 or 5 years these guys have been playing for non-stop. I've thought over the last 2 or 3 weeks, Fabinho at his best. Even though they lost heavily against Real Madrid, I thought there were signs in that game where I thought he was at it. For a good half an hour, 35 minutes, I saw signs that he's back. I thought today him and Henderson were non-stop. Harvey Elliott looked really good on the ball and as a tenacious young player with lots of skill, but it stems from the work ethic in midfield. If you've got Fabinho at his best, you've got Jordan Henderson at your best. Those three were the engine room that took the game away from Man United today. And then, as Jermaine said, you've got Gakpo and you've got Salah and you've got Nunez, the threats at the top of the pitch.
Well, we should have a word about Salah, because he scored more Premier League goals than anyone else in Liverpool colours. I mean, Ian Rush is probably the greatest goal scorer of all time when it comes to Liverpool. But in terms of the Premier League, you know, Robbie Fowler, Gerrard, Owen, who was with us today, obviously Sadio Mane and Firmino. And he'd actually admitted afterwards, he said, I quite fancy that. He said he's going to go and celebrate with a cup of chamomile tea.
Nice.
Yeah,
and a sleep.
Calm himself down a bit.
Yeah, calm himself down and have a sleep.
Absolutely.
And, you know, this has been a difficult season for Liverpool, but the way he played today, I think, underlined the way that Liverpool played today and what they can hope for, which is to aim for 4 for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think so. And we're having a discussion backstage, and anytime Mo Salah turns up with a short-sleeve shirt, it seems like he's ready for business. So I think from here onwards, he shouldn't wear anything apart from that short sleeve.
In a way, what Manchester United are going through is what Liverpool went through last season. They're in everything. They've obviously already won the League Cup. They're still in the FA Cup. I think probably the title's gone after this, but obviously top 4. They're still in everything. Was there an element of fatigue a little bit about Manchester United, or more a mental approach?
I just think it was more the mental approach. If they were complacent, that's one thing. But you see the heaviest defeats there, and you go back over a long period of time. These results happen, Mark. You don't see 7-0s every single week. Not in the Premier League, it doesn't happen. They caught Liverpool on a real bad day in terms of Man United's performance, because nothing they'd done went right for them. Liverpool scored some really good goals. Maybe a little bit fortunate on 1 or 2, but I think it was more so, I think, Liverpool's performance, how good they were in Man United.
How did Manchester United recover from this mentally and psychologically? Because that's the point, isn't it?
They have to mark it down as a one-off, and I'm pretty sure Ten Hag's going to do that. He'll have the guys into training tomorrow morning and say to them, right, these are the places we need to improve.
You watch it, you make him watch it again?
Yeah, that's what he'll do. He'll get all of the clips, the good, the bad, the ugly, and he'll say, right, this is where we improve, this is what we stop. What were you doing here? Next time you turn it around.
There's no waffle with him.
No,
I really like that.
I love the fact that there's no waffle.
Right.
Go all the way back to when Brentford spanked them, and they ran 11k less. He had them in the next day running 11k.
He'll do the same again.
He'll punish his players.
You do not leave this room till you've watched all the bad clips.
Yeah.
Which will be